What's good, YouTube? This your man Spill Dog. Man, I think one of the reasons why Crawford is the way that he is, I think he kind of fight with a chip on his shoulder. For a long time, Crawford, he really took a back seat to Adrian. It was Adrian Broner, Keith Thurman, Earl Spence. All them guys got all the credit for most of the years that he been boxing. Everybody knew Terrence Crawford was a good fighter, and that was nobody never debated or denied that. But it was mostly amongst just the boxing community that everybody pretty much appreciated, why respected Crawford. And I think part of it was him fighting with top rank. They had good lightweights and welterweights, but the more visible and the more popular fighters was fighting for the PBC after what happened with HBO boxing when Floyd and Al you know took all them fighters from Golden Boy and started PBC. Really, all the eyes was on the PBC fighters for some years. It started with Adrian Broner, then Keith Thurman, then Earl Spence, and Crawford had to kind of somewhat live in the shadows of guys that, in his mind, he always said he was better than these fighters. I was one of the ones that, I knew he was a good fighter, but it was fighters that I thought he couldn't beat. Even Danny Garcia got more shine than Terrence Crawford did, and you know he wasn't the type of guy to go out here and get on YouTube and you know do a lot of talking and stuff like that. He was a guy that took care of business in the ring, and for a long time he was somewhat ignored. Let's just keep it real, and I really believe that's why he carries himself the way he do and why he's taking. I think he's getting some of the love he should have got. I'm one of the ones that I gotta say I've always liked Crawford, but I thought that Keith and Earl were better fighters than him at that time, and it was only because of the guys that I felt like he was fighting. Now, at one time he was at 135 and 140. I felt like some of the competition and some of the championships fights was somewhat questionable. But then again, now when you look back on it, it was the guys that he was able to get in the ring with, and that's really what it come down to. You can't fight dudes that's not willing to fight you. Keith Thurman was dismissive of him for a lot of years. Earl Spence kind of looked past him, and it took him all these years. I mean, to get 35 years old before he really, really got that fight with Spence. That to let the whole world know what type of fighter he really was. And it just so happened to be at the end of his career, and it ain't like he ain't had a whole lot of good fights. I'm not saying that he always got respect and he made good money, but he was. I just feel like he was underappreciated because of who he was fighting with at the time, and Al and Bob Arum was more focused, if you ask my opinion, for once Lomachenko and Tyson Fury got on the roster. That's what Top Rank's focus was, and I think that's probably part of why Crawford left Bob Arum and got on his own. And I really believe this fight with Canelo. Yeah, it's about money, but for Bud, I think it's a lot about respect too. Whether he win or lose, I think he'll show up big. I think he'll give a good account of himself, no matter how this play out. But the boy, a hell of a fighter. He a complete boxer, and a great fighter can fight the right fight for one night. Now you got to come up with the right game plan. If the game plan they come up with is the wrong game plan, then he ain't got. I don't see him winning. But if they come up with the right game plan and he in shape and can stay disciplined enough to follow it through, anything can happen in that fight. You know, I just really feel like when a guy feel like he been underappreciated and not giving the respect he feel like he deserve, and especially when he know he's just as good a fighter as the rest of these dudes that can make you have a chip on your shoulder. And that 74-inch reach that Crawford had, that has been one of the things that's gotten him over. Because not only do he have it, he know how to use it. He really do, and a lot of that comes from his athleticism and his feet. So, you know, I just really believe when a guy been as good as he have and took so long, like it did him, to get the recognition you feel like you deserve, it's gonna be some frustration. It's definitely gonna be some frustration. And I just think he's there now. He at the end of his career, and I think he got he got the money he want. I think he just looking at one more big fight, one more big chance. This is to be the biggest challenge of his career, and if he falls short, he falls short. But when a guy, he lost in the amateur, so he's tasted defeat, but he haven't tasted it in the professional ranks. And in my mind, that's an advantage to some degree, because when you haven't lost in your mind, you're not going, he gonna continuously think throughout a fight with anybody, he can win. Because he been winning so many fights, he gonna think he can win until he don't. Your mindset got a lot to do with how things gonna play out in life in general. How you think, and when you see yourself victorious doing something, that's the first step. You gotta believe you can do it before anybody else do. You gotta seriously believe you can do it. I think he believe he probably a better boxer. Now, once again, power can change everything. But if he can stay away from Canelo big shots, I don't see why if he can avoid getting hit clean with big shots, which is not gonna be easy. That I think he can get out of that thing with a decision, but it by no stretch of the imagination is it gonna be easy. And it's to some degree not even supposed to be likely. That's why Canelo is the favorite, but it's damn sure possible, and it's damn sure a good possibility that Bud going in there and can outbox him and win this fight. I feel like Canelo I really think he feel like this is gonna be a much easier fight. I think Canelo believe it's gonna be similar to the fight with Charlo, and I don't think it's gonna be the same. I think it's gonna be different. I really do. I think Bud and Jamel are completely two different fighters that fight in two different styles. And a lot of what made Mel who he was at 154 was power, and being able, being the stronger guy. Well, he wasn't the stronger guy against Canelo, and I think he knew that, and I think that affected the way he fought in that match. I don't think Bud. I think he going to most of his fights playing in the box, so he will have a mindset that he always have, and I just unless doing a fight he see otherwise. But I really believe, man. I just believe he fight with a chip on his shoulder, because he been right there, but he been right next to the guy on top, not able to get his shot for the with the big names for most of his career. Honestly, Gamboa was the first big name he fought, and he had already had a couple of losses by the time Bud got to him. So it took Bud a long time to get that right fight, to get him out there past just the boxing community. And I think the fight with Canelo that'll be what the coup de grace. That'll be that last big test. And maybe he pass it, maybe he don't. But I really believe it's not just about money for Crawford. But that's it for me on this video. If you like the video, hit the like and subscribe. Till the next time, it's your boy Spill Dog. I'm out.